Welcome to MPWF RAW. We're currently here with a Money in the Bank qualifier matchup as Richard Hawkins takes on Dr. Ice Jr. And both men are trying to get the opportunity of a lifetime to be a part of the Money in the Bank ladder matchup at WrestleMania. And this has been a back and forth contest so far here now on Raw. And now Dr. Ice Jr. back with the waistlock, and now another reversal by Richard Hawkins. And these guys have been going to hold for this entire matchup. And now Hawkins goes for another pinfall here. 1, 2, and I'll kick out there. And if I am correct, this is a first-time meeting here on YouTube between Richard Hawkins and Dr. Ice Jr., and they certainly haven't let us down. What a neckbreaker takedown there by Richard Hawkins. Now Hawkins now kicking away at that back, and you can see Hawkins starting to get a little frustrated in this matchup. Hawkins believes he is the better man, and in order to win this matchup, you have to believe you're the better man. And now you see Richard Hawkins now choking Dr. Ice Jr. out in the middle rope. And now look at the taunt there by Richard Hawkins. He's starting to feel this matchup. This momentum is really on the side of Richard Hawkins. And now Hawkins now going for that high elevated Boston Crab. We've seen him make people submit from this submission, and he's looking to try and make Dr. Ice Jr. submit, and this is a rope break. Dr. Ice Jr. has his hand on the rope, and the referee now counting. And Richard Hawkins having to let go, and that's the frustrations of Richard Hawkins. Now Hawkins picking Ice back up. And now Richard Hawkins going for a neck breaker here, and oh wow, just driving the neck in the knee of Hawkins. And now going for the cover here. Here we go, 1, 2, 3, and oh, just gets the shoulder up. Does Dr. Ice. Well, right hand there, sorry, left hand by Dr. Ice by Richard Hawkins. And now Richard Hawkins then Ice into the turnbuckle. Now put him on the top rope. And oh, Dr. Ice Jr. kicks away out. Oh, Dr. Ice Jr. off the top rope here. And there's a flying chop off the top rope. The unorthodox style of Dr. Ice Jr. shining through. Going for the cover here. 2, and oh, Richard Hawkins kicks out. Said the unorthodox style is hard to combat of Dr. Ice Jr. Now an arm drag takeover there by Dr. Ice Jr. Now Ice now observing his opponent. Ice picking Hawkins back up, and I want a kick to the gut there by Dr. Ice. And I'll send Hawkins to the outside of the ring. I wonder if either of these men woke up this morning and wondered if they were going to be having such a difficult matchup here tonight on Raw. What a way to kick off this show. And now look at this, going for that double choke slam here. Dr. Ice Jr. choking him out first, and throwing him spine first on the mat. Now picking him up here. And now Dr. Ice Jr. now sending Richard Hawkins inside the ring. Dr. Ice Jr. needs to capitalize here and go for the cover. I know Richard Hawkins now grabbing the referee, looking to perhaps create a distraction, which he does. And now, oh, what a beautiful T-bone suplex there by Richard Hawkins. Now Hawkins picking him back up. And now Hawkins turning around, now sending him into the turnbuckle. Hawkins coming back. And now, oh, what a punch to the face there by Richard Hawkins. Now rebounding off the rope here. Now bulldog takedown there by Richard Hawkins. And Hawkins picking Ice back up. And now Hawkins looking for something big here. And oh my god, what a suplex there by Richard Hawkins. And that was a reverse tiger suplex there. And now twisting away at the wrist. And oh, what an enziguri there by Richard Hawkins. Trying to knock out Dr. Ice Jr. Now going for a cover here. And that could be it. No rope break. Dr. Ice Jr. has very good body position. And what a drop kick there. As we saw here, felt himself caged, able to get out of the situation. Great body position by Dr. Ice Jr. Now Dr. Ice Jr. fights back with a punch, and now another punch. And now, oh, Richard Hawkins now caging him back into the headlock, and now an enziguri. Wanting to keep Dr. Ice Jr. tight to him, doesn't want him to have time, any breathing space to try and fight back. So Richard Hawkins wants to keep the gaps closed in this matchup on a net breaker. If he can just keep wearing down Dr. Ice Jr., Dr. Ice Jr. will not be able to fight back. If he can just stay on top of him, this is what he needs to do. And now going for a huge back suplex there, does Richard Hawkins. Now going for a cover here, and yeah, there's another rope break. Now again with that waistlock, and you see Richard Hawkins using great game plan, great strategy in this matchup, not allowing Dr. Ice Jr. any breathing space. Look at that, slapping him in the head, now pushing him away. And now, oh, missing that kick there, but connects this time. And now Richard Hawkins now back with that headlock once more. And now oh, the hip toss takeover there by Hawkins. Now picking Ice back up. And now here he goes there for a high elevated Boston Crab. And Dr. Ice Jr. trying to fight back. Dr. Ice Jr. doesn't want to get turned over, and he has. And now Richard Hawkins now looking to wrench back at Dr. Ice Jr.'s spine here. And this is working at the ribs and the spine and the knees of your body. And Dr. Ice Jr. trying to get to the ropes here. You see him pushing and pulling. Can Dr. Ice Jr. get to the rope here? Will he have to submit? Richard Hawkins wrenching back. Richard Hawkins trying to win this matchup, and Dr. Ice Jr. has absolutely no choice but to tap out here. What a great matchup between these two here tonight. Richard Hawkins showing that this was a tough matchup here but Richard Hawkins has qualified for the Money in the Bank ladder matchup at WrestleMania, the first member of that matchup. So it was a tough bout between him and Dr. Ice Jr., but he survives here tonight. A great contest between the two, but ladies and gentlemen, we will be heading backstage up next. So I think we're going to be heading backstage with MVP and Apollo. So let's see what these two have to say backstage with Dr. Grisham. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, the man who will be taking on Yamasaki Ishino for his Undisputed title later on tonight, Antonio Goldman. But up next, we have ourselves some Divas competition. And we heard what Michelle McCool had to say on Sunday Night Metal. Michelle McCool telling these brand new Divas in the MPWF that they got nothing on her. And Michelle McCool doesn't want them taking her spotlight. Well, Michelle McCool finds herself in singles competition against one of those brand new Divas. And that's the Hellcat Cleopatra. So this is the first time we're going to see a Cleopatra in singles competition here in the MPWF on Raw. And don't forget that later on tonight, her, I don't even know what you describe the relationship between her and Systematic Carnage, but nonetheless, Carnage will be defending his YouTube championship against Lethal Mathematics in a rematch of the MPWF RAW Rumble. So that's going to be a great contest, but like we said, right now we're going to be seeing some Divas competition between these two. Well, I can't even say they're lovely ladies. Michelle McCool is just not a very nice lady at all, and Cleopatra she's just one weird person. I mean, we haven't really heard much from her. We saw her attack Chandrella Johnson, and there is Cleopatra, and a strange woman. Apparently she is the wife of Lucifer, and she has come down to help Systematic Carnage in his dastardly deeds, in his dealings, in his missions to send people's souls back to hell. And I mean, he tried to send Lethal Mathematics' soul to hell, much like he sent Mathematics' brother Sean Stevens' soul to hell, but was stopped by that white figure who we saw in MPWF SmackDown and at the Royal Rumble. And the white figure had told Systematic Carnage that Lucifer knows the truth. What that means, I don't know. Does this woman have any idea? I have no idea. But look at her right now. How weird is she? How strange is she? And how strange is this music? This is just one weird woman, and I don't think there's anything right in the head of Cleopatra. I mean, Michelle McCool is going to have to deal with that up next, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned and see Divas action on the MPWF Episode 10 of Raw.